am Lamarsha Lewis. Let's start. Hello and welcome to I am Lamarsha Lewis. Let's start YouTube channel. Today is Tuesday, January the 5th, 2021. We are only 5 days into the new year of 2021. Of course, we're all praying, hoping, and I'm claiming and believing that 2021 would be much better than 2020. And as we know, today again is Tuesday, January the 5th, and in the state of Georgia, they are having their runoff for the Senate race. This is the last day to exercise your right to vote, to make your voice heard, and your vote count. Many people have did a tremendous job. They had said that the turnout of early voting was very good. It was basically pretty much like many of the residents in the state of Georgia did for the presidential election. They went out in troves, in large amounts of number, which is fantastic. It's awesome because we know in the direst time that we're in, trying to come out of this Trumpism that we have experienced the last 4 years. So grateful that it would be a new administration. And just 15 days, January the 20th, President-elect Biden will become the President of the United States. Vice President-elect Kamala Harris, for the first time in American history, one would be the first woman, two, and the first woman of color to hold the role as Vice President of the United States. We have to continue to lift them up in prayer and just ask God's grace, His mercy, and His covering, His protection for not just President-elect and Vice President-elect, but all of us, each and every one. Because we're living in direst time. We got so many people that have a lot of hate in their heart. It's about country. It's party over country. It's not about country over party as it should be. Our democracy, our constitution, and for me, just a real genuine kind human being where integrity matters, where morals matter, where values. The Republican Party is supposed to be the party of family values. It's out the door. They have just thrown values out the door, and it's greed, it's power, it's the thirst for hunger, for more power, more money. It's not about we the American people. And it's not about giving everyone the true, fair opportunity or just the simple right to have more, do more, be better. They want to hold us back, especially if you're a person of color or if you weren't born in this country. Immigrants that they love to just berate. It's not right. It's not fair. So Georgia's, and it's my prayer, it's my hope that God would give us more grace and more favor, that He would send Reverend Raphael Warnock to the Senate to replace Kelly Loeffler, who is a millionaire, who's out of touch. And again, I hold the Governor Brian Kemp responsible because she was not elected. She was appointed to fulfill the role of a senator, a gentleman that stepped down due to health issues that I had read. It was health issues that the previous senator had to or did step down from his post as the senator for the state of Georgia, and the Governor Brian Kemp appointed this millionaire knowing that this woman is out of touch. So they all always take care of their own. They have their own personal agenda, and it's not about the average poor, struggling American just trying to do right, take care of their families, feed their families, have a better life. No, the rich and powerful wants to maintain control so that they can stay rich and powerful. I watched the Waltons. It was a show back in the 70s, I believe. A family of 7 kids, the mom, dad, grandparents, and all that. In today's episode, it was called The Bequest, where the grandmother thought was supposedly going to get some money that had been left to her from a dear friend from years back, had passed away. In her will, she had said that she wanted to leave. And at that time, the amount was $250. And again, this was during the Depression age, so that was a lot of money. And truly, today, that's a lot of money, especially for the times we're living in now, where we have our United States Congress only want to give you and I, the average American, $600, and we're supposed to live off of that. Grateful, yes, but it's not enough. But Grandpa said a very interesting line in the episode. He was kind of teasing his wife, Grandma, and he said, "Oh, that's just like rich folks. That's just typical of rich folks. When they get money, they want to keep it for themselves and have it to where the poor don't feel that they deserve it." And I'm like, wow, you know, that's just where we are today. Because the rich, they want to stay rich, maintain power, and withhold all control of you and I getting or having money. They want us to be poor and struggle all the days of our lives. That's just their mentality. It's about themselves. But Georgia, this is your last day to get out to support Raphael Warnock, who hopefully will be replacing Kelly Loeffler, and John Ossoff will be replacing, hopefully, David Perdue. It was said how he recently, when Pfizer came out with the vaccine for COVID-19, he already got stock, and how he had sold stock. And also, Loeffler had got caught up in, her husband is the CEO of the stock exchange in New York, and how they selling off stock to make sure that they don't go under. It's just corrupt. This is corrupt, and there's no morals, there's no value. You have Gabriel Sterling going on with his news conference debunking the conversation with Trump, but yet he's out here still promoting Loeffler and Perdue, who's backing Trump. They both don't want to give Biden a chance, and I mean, it's just so much. It's almost overwhelming, but that lets us know there's still so much and plenty of work to be done by you and I. We can never just think, hey, we got a break, because we don't. We have people, and it's been this way for years and years and years, and it's going to be this way for years and years to come. We have people that are against us, all because of our brown skin. They don't want us to be successful human beings. The country wasn't even founded or set up that you and I were supposed to have vital roles. It's set up to be against us. They want us to be considered uneducated, inhumane, can't think for ourselves, don't know how to act, don't know how to do, when all of that is pure fabrication. In fact, we are whatever we desire. Because God said nothing is impossible with Him. If we seek Him and we have that relationship and we do our part, sky's the limit. But the whites want to hold us back. But we are not our ancestors. So, Georgians, I pray that you get out and exercise your right as American citizens to vote. We got to vote like never before, because Trump lost the president race, but he's still up to his rhetoric. But what's even sadder, he has put in the Trumpism that is not going away, and I hate to say it, unfortunately, doesn't seem like anytime soon. Because what I have learned through this, like they say, he isn't how racism started. He just revealed the true racism in people, in their hearts, the hate for you and I, all because we are not like them. The color of our skin is not like them, and they definitely don't have character, because you should love all people regardless of their skin color, their creed, their religion, their gender, their ethics, and all that. Everyone should be given a fair, true shot, a fair, true opportunity. It's not like this in our country, in many other countries as well. Because when it comes to people of color, regardless of whether you're in the United States or any other country, we are not the people that are liked. everyone seems to be against it. All because we're a different skin tone, which is crazy to me. That's just absurd. This past Saturday, Trump was it has been released by Georgia. It was Brad Raffensperger, who is the Secretary of State for the state of Georgia. He had a telephone call. And in my opinion, again, this is my opinion, this is just like the Nixon call. Trump should be, and I know he's been impeached already, but this time, this man, and it's only 15 days left through for his presidency, but we see every day he's still doing damage control. He's still doing damage control. But there was a telephone call between him, and I'm going to read this. It says about 3 p.m. Saturday, President Trump held an hour-long call with Brad Raffensperger. And I know I'm not pronouncing that last name correct, and my apologies, because I never want to intentionally mispronounce someone's name, because I believe that's very important, because I take privilege in my name being pronounced correct. So it's Brad Raffensperger, the Secretary of State of Georgia, in which he repeatedly urged him to alter the outcome of the presidential vote in the state. He was joined on the call by White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows and several lawyers, including longtime conservative attorney Cleta Mitchell and Georgia-based attorney Kurt Hilbert. Raffensperger was joined by his office General Counsel Ryan Germany and Deputy Secretary of State Jordan Fuchs. And this is what Meadows says. Meadows: okay, all right, Mr. President, everyone is on the line. This is Mark Meadows, the Chief of Staff. Just so we all are aware, on the line is Secretary of State and 2 individuals, Jordan and Mr. Jeremy, with him. You also have the attorneys that represent the President, Kurt and Alex, and Cleta Mitchell, who is not the attorney of record, but also have been involved. Myself and then President. So, Mr. President, I turn it over to you. So that's when Trump proceeds, and I see the media saying that urge, but he was, in my opinion, he was basically threatening and trying to intimidate the Secretary of State to overturn the will of we, the American people, which is you and I, the votes for the state of Georgia. He asked and said, I need 11,780 votes. Almost 12,000, 20 votes short of being 12,000 votes is what Trump tried to intimidate the Secretary of State to give to him. You cannot, and I have said it and I continue to say it over and over as many times as needed, you cannot overturn the will of the people. We went to the polls, we voted, and Donald J. Trump was not reelected for a second term. It's over. And then I saw on the views where they showed a clip of him. He was yesterday was supposed to be, or last night was supposed to be campaigning, because today is the final day for the Senate runoff between Kelly Loeffler and Raphael Warnock and David Perdue and John Ossoff. This is the last day that all Georgia citizens, registered voters, can exercise their right to vote for their next state senators, which will be 2 state senators for the state of Georgia. He was supposed to be rallying for them, but Trump being Trump, and in Trump rare form, rallying for himself, talking about our great Vice President Mike Pence can bring it home for us, can overturn. Mike Pence cannot overturn, because on Wednesday, which is tomorrow, they will be doing the electoral votes, in which it has been said that Loeffler says she's going to vote against it. See, these people are just evil. They're evil, they're corrupt, and it's about them, the republic. It's not about the United States Constitution. It's not about democracy. It's not even about having morals, values, or ethics or integrity. On Sunday, they did the installment of the representatives for Congress and for the senators, and they was toting their Bibles and things. I'm like, look at this. You got all these men and women like Cindy Hyde-Smith, the representative from my state, Mississippi, the woman who said she would sit front row at a public hanging. She's walking with her Bible in her hand, but yet she would sit front row at a public hanging. Then there was old Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, and all these just evil, corrupt people, and yet they was toting Bibles. But God has final say in all things. But going back to Trump trying to, again, talking about if Mike, he's a great man, I like him, but if he don't do what he wants him to do, which is to overturn, reject Biden being the next president, I won't like him very much. I won't like him very much. What is that to say? We are in a very dark place. I'm going to play some of this clip.
Nothing wrong with, based on all of this, and there's nothing wrong with saying that, Brad. You know, I mean, having a correct, the people of Georgia are angry, and these numbers are going to be repeated on Monday night, along with others that we're going to have by that time, which are much more substantial even. And the people of Georgia are angry. The people of the country are angry. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, you know, that you've recalculated.
Well, Mr. President, the challenge that you have is the data you have is wrong.
Now, do you think it's possible that they shredded ballots in Fulton County? Because that's what the rumor is. And also that Dominion took out machines. That Dominion is really moving fast to get rid of their machinery. Do you know anything about that? Because that's illegal.
No, Ryan, Germany. No, Dominion has not moved any machinery out of Fulton County. We're having.
Well, but if they moved, have they moved the inner parts of the machines and replaced them with other parts?
No.
You sure, Brian?
I'm sure.
You should want to have an accurate election. And you're a Republican.
We believe that we do have an accurate election.
No, I know you don't. No, you don't. You don't have. Not even close. You're up by hundreds of thousands of votes. You know what they did, and you're not reporting it. That's a criminal offense. And you know, you can't let that happen. That's a big risk to you and to Ryan, your lawyer. That's a big risk. But they are shredding ballots, in my opinion, based on what I've heard, and they are removing machinery, and they're moving it as fast as they can, both of which are criminal fines, and you can't let it happen, and you are letting it happen. You know, I mean, I'm notifying you that you're letting it happen. So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state. So tell me, Brad, what are we going to do? We won the election, and it's not fair to take it away from us like this. And it's going to be very costly in many ways. And I think you have to say that you're going to re-examine it, and you can re-examine it, but re-examine it with people that want to find answers, not people that don't want to find answers. For instance, I'm hearing Ryan, and he's probably, I'm sure, a great lawyer and everything, but he's making statements about those ballots that he doesn't know. But he's making them with such, he did make them with surety, but now I think he's less sure, because the answer is they all went to Biden. And that alone wins us the election by a lot. You know, so.
Mr. President, you have people that submit information, and we have our people that submit information,
and then it comes before the court, and the court then has to make a determination. We have to stand by our numbers. We believe our numbers are right.
Well, under law, you're not allowed to give faulty election results, okay? You're not allowed to do that, and that's what you've done. This is a faulty election result. And honestly, this should go very fast. You should meet tomorrow, because you have a big election coming up, and because of what you've done to the president, you know, the people of Georgia know that this was a scam. And because of what you've done to the president, a lot of people aren't going out to vote. And a lot of Republicans are going to vote negative because they hate what you did to the president. Okay? They hate it. And they're going to vote. And if you would be respected, really respected, if this thing could be straightened out before the election. You have a big election coming up on Tuesday.
And that was just a 4-minute and 20 seconds clip of, again, our actual telephone call that happened on Saturday, January the 2nd, 2021, with the President of the United States trying to intimidate, threaten the Secretary of State of Georgia, Brad Raffensperger, to overturn the election results where he lost in the state of Georgia. President-elect Joe Biden won the state of Georgia, and Trump is trying to threaten and ask verbatim, blatantly, bluntly, to give him 11,780 votes. Because in his opinion, or according to him, he won. There have been 3 additional recounts in the state of Georgia. One, it was automatically that they would recount the votes because it was such a close narrative race between Biden and Trump. So that is a rule that was in place for the state of Georgia whenever it's very close or a very narrative to both candidates, that they would automatically do a recount. And then because of Trump not being willing to accept that he lost, there was another 2 additional, one where they actually counted the votes verbatim by hand, and another machine count. And he had lost and I think it's over 50, not just for the state of Georgia, but over 50 cases in various other states where he lost those particular states, and he tried to do his what he does, sue, but he lost each case. They were all basically thrown out, rejected by judges because there was no valid point there. As it has been said over and over, we had a fair election. It's just that Trump lost. Donald J. Trump lost. He refuses to accept that, but it is what it is. He is a one-term impeached, although he wasn't removed, and the Senate should have removed him. But we, the American people, have gave him eviction notice. 15 more days, it takes effect. It's over for Donald J. Trump. And it's just ridiculous that he's trying to be intimidating, threatening, and just the fact that the President of the United States refuses to accept that he lost an election. And this is destroying our democracy, trying to say that we had fraud, it was a scam, it was rigged. That is not what a president or public official should be doing. Demolishing our own democracy, our Constitution, what we were built and founded upon. And you have the Republican Party sitting silently, sitting complicit, turning a blind eye and a deaf ear intentionally. These are very corrupt, cruel, evil, mean people, and this is my opinion, is that they so caught up in greed, the love of money, the love of power and esteem, that they just have closed their eyes, have shut off their ears, look this way, look that way, look behind. I mean, all of this. This is the Nixon Watergate all over. A telephone call of the President of the United States threatening, intimidating, and asking specifically for 11,780 votes to be given to him. saying that this is criminal. What he's saying to the people on that call to the Secretary of State, he is criminal. It's criminal what he's wanting. It's criminal what he's asking for. He needs to be held accountable, even though he has 15 more days left as the President of this United States of America. There is so much at stake. The Republican Party is about party over country. It's about their own will, their own agenda. That's why they did their sham rush through with Amy Coney Barrett to be the United States Supreme Court Justice after the late Justice Ruth Bader Gator passed away. Just know, people, we have work to be done, and we can't sit silent. We can't be complicit as we see from our counterparts of the Republican Party. We got to be people of values, have morals, have integrity, and to do the right thing. As the late Martin Luther King, the late John Lewis, and so many others that have went on, fought for us, and now are gone. We have work to do, and their work cannot be in vain. We will not allow these people to be corrupt and think it's okay, and we stand back and not have our say. We have a right, because we too are American citizens. So let's not forget that. We got to do our own due diligence and our own work, because there's much work to be done. It's not over. In fact, it will never be over. So let's not get complicit as we see from, again, our counterparts. I heard Pastor Raphael Warnock today, his dad used to wake him up at the break of dawn. It was dark, but it was at the break of dawn. And would say, put on your shoes. And that's what he was telling all the citizens today. Put on your shoes. And that's what we got to do. We got to put on our shoes, be ready to walk, be ready to run, whatever it takes to get the job done. That we too are part of these United States of America, and we have a voice, we have a say, and we will do just that. I am Lamarsha Lewis. Let's talk.